Every year I play a bunch of games, many of them to completion. Then I do a collage of the ones I completed and a tier list based on how I felt about them. Yeah, I have AI Limit in an S tier spot and Elden Ring in an A tier spot because AI Limit got me into Souls-likes, and I just really enjoyed Elden Ring, which I'm sure makes you angry, so get in the comments and tell me how wrong I am. Welcome back to Other Pixel Games. I'm James, and today I'm going to share with you a tier list I put together for the designs of all the games I completed this year. This was recorded in a different room to what I usually use, so I apologise for any audio inconsistencies, but without further ado, here are rankings for the designs of games I completed this year. Okay, so this is a tier ranking for the 29 games I played this year, based around their design. So rather than the games that I loved, the games that, like, how much I loved each of them, it's what I think about their actual design. I haven't really got a solid thing for each tier, but I guess it's S tier, it elevated the genre. A tier, it was good for the genre. B tier, it didn't hurt the genre, but it didn't advance the genre at all. C tier, maybe it hurt it a little bit, but the game was still great. And D tier, because of the design, it was a bad game. But I don't think that there's going to be anything like that in here. I think it'll all be C and above. But yeah, let's go through it. First game is Space Marine 2. I liked Space Marine. I enjoyed the co-op side of it. It felt like a good Space Marine game. You felt really chunky, you felt really strong. Design-wise, there was some nice gameplay stuff. It's not a huge amount of innovation, but that doesn't necessarily make it bad. I think I'll probably put that in B tier. It was a good game. It just didn't particularly advance anything. I think that's fair to say. Well, the Tyranid tech is pretty cool, but that was tech they already had. Yeah, I think B tier is fine for that. Remnant 2's DLC, they did absolutely nothing new compared to Remnant 2. So I guess that's C tier? I don't know if that's what I said before. I think it was just... I think I said that it made the game worse before, so I guess it's B tier still. Uncharted 4, I replayed that this year. Is there anything game designy in there? I think we're going to have a lot of B tier stuff in this list. B tier being it didn't do anything amazing, but it also didn't hurt anything. Yeah, I think that's B tier as well. Lies of P is an interesting one. I think that it had designs that I thought were going to be really cool, but ended up being either totally useless or not good at all. For instance, I really liked the idea of its weapon system thing, where you have half of it. You have two parts of the weapon, and one part is the way it acts and the other part is what it does. But in the end, I found that either the combinations weren't ever any better if you changed them, or I was just always using a weapon that didn't have those two parts, so it just didn't really hit for me. I think I'm going to put it in C, because not only was that design a bit of a disappointment, but also its boss design was pretty weak to me, and all enemies, in fact. I felt like they could have been a lot more imaginative with the idea of puppets as enemies, instead of just having human-shaped enemies and occasional dog-shaped enemies. Metaphor, it was a nice game. I think it's another B though. It was just a lighter version of Persona. Well, You know what, I'm going to put it in A, and the reason I'm going to do that is because sometimes scaling back on something is a good design choice. In this case, it was going from, you can get every single enemy that is in the game as your like power up, to here is a selection of like 25 classes, and those are the things that you're building on. So that is a good improvement for people that don't want to have to worry about those 1,000 enemies that you can use. Is the Seat Taken? It was a really good game. It's short, but I think any longer and it would have outstayed its welcome. I think it's probably A tier for design. It's a puzzle game that had a really interesting and easy to understand mechanic. Yeah, for that reason, A tier. Okay. Oh god, I can't even remember what this is called and I'm looking at it. Double Exposure, I think, is probably C tier. I'm tempted to put D tier, but I think I'm only thinking D tier because I'm comparing it to the original Life is Strange. The original Life is Strange was so good, and the going back in time mechanic was genuinely really good, but the mechanic in this one where you're just moving between zones that are similar isn't nearly as good. So I don't think that it's so bad that it was a terrible game. I still enjoyed the game, but that mechanic wasn't as good as the first game's mechanic. Outer Worlds 2 is going to be B tier simply because it didn't do anything. It was just Outer Worlds 1 again, and this is where you see how my brain works with sequels. I don't think that I attribute anything to a sequel unless it wasn't done in the original game. So Outer Worlds 2, for instance, I like the floors mechanic. I think that's a really interesting new innovation in that genre, which is kind of a stagnant genre, but it was in Outer Worlds 1. They didn't. The only thing that was new in Outer Worlds 2 was the story, and that's kind of it, I think. So it didn't have anything new that elevated it. It didn't have anything that made it worse. So B tier. Uncharted Lost Legacy. If I could say that the length of a game was a design choice, I would put this in A tier. I think that it is the perfect length. You can complete it in a day if you're really committed, but a weekend if you're not that committed, and it has the exact right amount of fun in it. It's a better game than Uncharted 4 for that reason. Uncharted 4 has a lot more emotional payoff and it has a much longer game to it, but I really liked it. Outer Worlds 2, I'm going to put in C tier, even though I want to put it in D tier, because it had one design in it that I thought was really, really cool, but everything else was bad. So, I really like, I've done a video on this, but I really like the mechanic on how you get skills. So instead of just having XP that slowly accrues, you go and you find people that will teach you things, and you have to collect the right stuff to like upgrade an item or whatever. So I really like that mechanic, but everything else was kind of mid or worse. Unpacking, I have played through entirely a good 4 or 5 times now. I think that its design is actually S tier. It's very simple. You're just putting things in a house, but the way that they are able to use that simple mechanic to tell the story of a person's entire life is super cool. And if you watch anyone playing it on YouTube, you'll see that people genuinely get an emotional stake into these people's lives. So yeah. South of Midnight. Did they have anything gameplay? You know what? I'm kind of tempted to put it at C tier. I thought it was a great game, but I really didn't like the arena combat style stuff. I'm really just not a fan of that. I think that it's a really outdated type of design principle. I think that having people explore and then stop for 5 minutes to have a fight, and then explore and then stop for 5 minutes to have a fight, it just doesn't feel great to me. So I'm going to put it in C. It's not a D tier. I really enjoyed the game. The story, especially the art style, was gorgeous, and when I first saw it, I thought that I was going to get really annoyed by the way that it has like animation on twos, but it was trying to be stop motion, and I thought that was going to annoy me after a while, but I actually really liked it. AI limit, I'm going to put 8. Am I going to put 8 here? It's an S tier game for me because it got me into Souls-likes, but does it do anything interesting design-wise? It is basically just a Souls-like that doesn't make you drop your... it's an A tier, and here's why. It has a part of its design where instead of dropping all of your souls, or whatever they want to call it, you lose a certain amount of them, and I thought that was a really nice twist on what the original Souls-likes would do, simply because in those games you kind of got locked into going into a boss fight over and over again because you had to go and get your souls and then you had to lose again and blah blah blah. And with this, you lost a tiny bit of them, and you could change the amount that you lost depending on certain items, like certain equipment rather than expendable items. And that meant that when I was struggling with a boss, I could decide I'm not going to fight it again. I'm going to take the souls that I have and I'm going to go and do something. So A tier for that, though I appreciate that the rest of the game is quite generic. Remnant 2, I didn't play Remnant 1, but I imagine it's very similar. I don't know what they innovated on. So I love the game. I've played it. It's probably my most played co-op game this year. And this year I was replaying it. I'm going to put it in... Oh, I really like it. I really like that game. I'm going to put it in A tier. I'm not sure why. Does that mean I have to put it in B tier? Whatever. It's an A tier game. It's a A tier designs. It's just a great game. Like really fluid, really great gameplay. Hey, if you can't say that a game is great because of its gameplay, then I don't know what you're going to say. Expedition 33, S tier. It won so many awards. How is it ever going to not be S tier? The way that they upgraded the turn-based combat system is amazing. You can read more about that, or listen to more about that in my previous video about Expedition 33. They did that great twist on the turn-based gameplay. I think that was S tier. Tactical Breach Wizards is a great game. Had great dialogue in it. I thought it was a really fun game, and they managed to keep all of the levels interesting in introducing new characters and stuff. I think it's probably S tier for design. Blueprints, S tier. Having a roguelike puzzle game was really interesting. Yeah, but some of the puzzles got a bit boring after a while, and sometimes it was very confusing, and sometimes it felt you felt hard done by, but it was still great. Elden Ring, I want to put S tier, but and I am going to put S tier, but the reason I'm putting it S tier is because I think that adding the open world design to Souls-likes is a real step up for the genre. But someone at the pub the other day did say something that made me question whether or not I just really like it or not. And they said that it is less a Souls-like and more a Zelda game, a Zelda-like. But I think I'm right. I think it does have dungeons and stuff, but it doesn't do the Zelda-like thing where you get a new thing from each dungeon and that helps you with puzzles in future dungeons. I think it is a Souls-like that just happens to have dungeons in an open world. Tavern Tale. It's a very simple game. I don't really think that there's anything good design-wise in there, but I also don't think there's anything bad design-wise in there, so I guess that puts it at a B. but that feels wrong. It feels like it should be higher than these guys, but they had things that were detrimental about them. The Back 4 Blood annual pass is a D tier thing. It didn't have any new stuff except for a couple boss fights, and the levels were much shorter. And I think that if I remember right, the third DLC added stuff to the game as a whole that you couldn't turn off, which feels like a detriment to the game as a whole. Also, when I first played it, the meta design worked completely differently, and I preferred the original game. Dispatch, I think it was a great game. I think it had a great story, but there wasn't much there design-wise. I don't think they innovated very much. I think that I kind of would have preferred to watch a movie about it. Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight's a tough one. It's a great game. You know what? It's going to go in A tier because it's a great game with great gameplay. I think that it spawned a whole new era of Metroidvanias, and I think it was one of the first Souls-like Metroidvanias, and that's a pretty good thing. Spider-Man, I'm going to put B tier. Spider-Man Miles Morales specifically, because I think that it's an amazing game. I've played it every Christmas Eve for the past 5 years or however long it's been out. It's a Christmas game. I have to play it for Christmas. And it takes only about 5-6 hours to complete, on New Game Plus at least. The reason I'm not putting it higher is because it doesn't do anything except for invisibility that the original Spider-Man game doesn't do. And as I said earlier, I don't credit something unless it's new. Ghost of Yotei, I'm going to put A tier for the sole reason that the things that it did to change between Tsushima and Yotei, I think were huge improvements. I'm thinking specifically about changing it from sword stances to different weapons, and changing it and making the Fox missions a lot more narrative. Like in the original Ghost of Tsushima, the changing stances was really it wasn't confusing. I knew how to do it, but I don't think... Oh, jeez. I knew how to do it, but it was not clear to the player, one, what you are using yourself, and two, what the enemy's using. So often and I'm sure other people, just did whatever the one that they were most comfortable with was. Whereas in Ghost of Yotei, having that very clear distinction between all of the different weapons made it so much more obvious and easier to understand. Darktide. So I guess I'm comparing this to Vermintide, and I think... Well, I think it is a step up. I like the upgradability a lot more, and I like the ability, the different gear types and things like that. So I do think it's a step up. I think, and now that it's got a campaign mode in it, I think that it is great. When it first came out and there wasn't a campaign mode and it was just play random missions, I got bored of it so quickly. I still played it because I liked the gameplay, and people that I play with, my uncle who I play with, he really likes the game in the world. But I play games to get to an end, and a game like that doesn't have an end kind of frustrates me after a while. Speaking of, Nightreign, I am going to put that at A tier because I think that the way that they built the roguelike format is really good and really cool.
Beauty has always inspired us.
Okay, let's put that on mute so that doesn't happen again. Yeah, Nightreign. I really like the classes, I really like the world, I really liked how how the roguelike stuff works. Is it an S tier though? I think it is borderline S tier. Let's just put it up here just so that we're clear that it's almost S tier. Dune Awakening is C tier, I think. I enjoyed it at first, but it very quickly became one of those games that I play where I have to make my own goal, and once I hit that goal, I have no more reason to play the game. My goal in that was getting an Ornithopter. I got it, and then I just didn't play it again. Mass Effect 3 is great. It's going to be B tier though. It's more cinematic than the previous one, and it has the melee weapon, which is nice, but it doesn't do a whole lot to upgrade the franchise compared to number 2. And I've played it a ton of times, so it's kind of boring to me now. It's not actually. I still play it. It's my comfort game. I play it whenever. I play through the whole series. And Split Fiction is gonna be S tier. I think I played Split Fiction before I played It Takes Two, and I think that Split Fiction takes the formula that they started in It Takes Two, which they also started in the previous one that I can't remember, and it just elevates it so much. That I understand people's take on the story, though I enjoyed the story perfectly fine, but I think that it is a true co-op experience, whereas some games that are co-op kind of feel like you and the person with you are playing single player games that happen to have another person next to you, whereas this feels like you need the other person to be there, otherwise it just doesn't work. So yeah, that's it. I think I'm happy with that list. Cool, thanks. Those were the design tier rankings for the 29 games I completed this year. Did you play any of these games? What did you think of them? Where would you put them in terms of design? Let me know in the comments, then like and subscribe as a late Christmas gift. Also check out these other videos. The one at the top is a video YouTube thought you'd like, and the one at the bottom is my video essay on Expedition 33. Thanks for watching.